Hi Libra. Today we're going to look at October 7th, 2025, and that's the full moon in Aries. And if you like this reading and it inspires you today, subscribe, like, and comment below, and tell me your favorite autumn traditions. I love to read your comments and, make them spicy. Thank you. And we'll begin. So, the number for that day is 8, and the number 8 symbolizes power, karmic cycles, and the need for balance between effort and reward. It is the number of achievement, but also accountability. So for Libra, 8 highlights the necessity of balancing relationships with self-mastery. You may be challenged to see where compromise becomes a burden and where standing in your authority restores harmony. So you may feel pulled between pleasing others and honoring your own goals. So number 8 reminds you that true balance isn't about appeasement. It's about equitable power and sustainable give and take. Now let's look at astrology. So we're going to start with the moon. It's a full moon, and it illuminates your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, and one-on-one connections. The spotlight falls on how you connect with others and how those dynamics reflect your own sense of self. Here's the sun in Libra, your first house, that's identity and self. And it's opposite the moon in Aries, that's the 7th house, and that's partnerships. So the classic Libra-Aries axis is activated, asking you to balance your needs with the needs of others. So a relationship dynamic may reach a turning point, showing whether equality truly exists or if it's a one-sided relationship. And then there's Mercury. And Mercury's in Libra, and that's your first house, communication and self-expression. So your words carry weight, and expressing your perspective clearly becomes essential. So you may need to articulate your needs in a partnership rather than letting silence create resentment. Venus in Virgo, your 12th house. That's going to talk about healing and spiritual reflection. So Venus asks you to tend to inner patterns and hidden desires. Relationships may require private reflection or quiet nurturing. So you might realize you've been carrying self-sacrificing tendencies in silence and begin choosing healthier boundaries. Mars is in Cancer, your 10th house, career and public role. So Mars energizes your public life and ambitions, possibly adding tension if work responsibilities clash with relationships. So you may feel torn between professional demands and your partner's needs. And this requires balance. Bum, 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 bum. Because we're going to look at tarot cards, and we're starting with the Devil. Okay. Whoop. Hey, there you are. So the Devil card is bondage, temptation, and control. So the Devil highlights where attachments, habits, or dynamics may feel binding. It can point to toxic relationships, unhealthy patterns, or fears disguised as comfort. So you may notice a relationship or partnership dynamic where dependency has replaced equality. This could manifest as staying in a situation out of fear of loss or control. So here's your advice. Liberation begins with awareness. Acknowledge the chains before you can break them. Then, Four of Wands. This talks about celebration, a much lighter card, celebration, milestones, and harmony. So this card celebrates joy, stability, and community. It brings moments of recognition and gathering and harmony after effort. So despite tension, you may experience a milestone in your relationships, such as a reconciliation, a family event, or an achievement worth celebrating with others. So here's your advice. Cherish the moments of harmony, even if they coexist with challenges. Gratitude strengthens foundations. Then we have the Five of Wands, and that's That's conflict and competition and misunderstanding. So the Five of Wands signals conflict, but not always destructive. It represents competition, clashing opinions, and the energy of testing boundaries. So you may face disagreements in relationships or groups where everyone is fighting to be heard. The conflict may feel draining, but it can also bring clarity about your role and value. So here's your advice. Don't shy away from conflict. Use it as a way to clarify boundaries, priorities, and truths. So how does this day affect Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising? So Libra, Sun, your sense of identity is tested through relationships. Where toxicity arises, you're being shown what needs release. So a partnership may reveal whether it empowers you or it drains you. Libra, Moon. Emotionally, you crave peace, but conflict may stir beneath the surface. It's an opportunity to honor your emotional truth. So you might realize that pretending everything is fine only delays needed conversations. And Libra rising. Outwardly, you appear diplomatic, but others may notice you stand firmer than usual. You're learning to hold your own ground without abandoning balance. So a group conflict may push you to step into a role of mediator while still protecting your own stance. So here is the summary of what this day means to you, Libra. So this full moon in Aries activates your relationship axis, highlighting how you balance self and partnership. The Devil warns of unhealthy bonds. The Four of Wands brings joy and milestones, and the Five of Wands reveals conflict that pushes growth. Together they show a cycle of release, celebration, and confrontation, each part necessary for deeper balance. So here's the real-life takeaway. Recognize and release toxic dynamics or dependencies. Celebrate milestones and moments of harmony where they exist. Use conflict as a clarifying tool, not just as a disruption. So here's the advice for Libra on this day. So this full moon asks you to face the truth of your relationships with courage. Celebrate harmony, release what binds you, and let conflict refine rather than divide. Balance is not the absence of challenge. It is the art of holding your ground while still creating peace. Thank you, Libra. So glad you were here. And I hope to see you in your next reading.